Hello, fam. My name is C.S. Williams, the Radio Apprentice, and you're listening to Oral Vault Live podcast. It's been a wonderful weekend, but I'm not sure it's quite been for me. There's nothing been remarkable at this moment, but I can assume that it's all fine, especially from you. And with all the rainfall and all of that, you probably ask me, what do I expect, or what do I want to expect? Or it's all good. And yes, tonight is just a minute to my exact time, and I'm taking it quite up early. You'll quite be surprised that it's coming to you quite early, but that's how I feel. Okay? It's actually how I feel. Today, there was not much conversation, and there's nothing much to share, only for one thing. There's something I read today, and I decided that I'm going to share with you so that you can tell me what you think. If you're not listening to me live right now, if you're listening to this as a podcast, which I know it's going to go towards it later on, you can actually use the comment section, or you can find me, the Radio Apprentice, and tell me what you think, or you can go to our website, radiolive.oralvault.com, and yes, be a part, because I'm going to ask some very relevant questions, one that I would want you to be a part of. And when I ask you, you're probably going to find it interesting, because it's something that happens to us every day, every now and then. Okay, this is it, right? If you're paying attention, you're a guy, you probably wouldn't find it so overwhelming. But then the people who can answer this properly and who can actually digest it the way it is, I feel it's quite for the ladies. Okay, for the guys right now, you know, I've had something, and speaking from the depth of experience and all of that, I disagree with any guy who would say you meet a girl and the next thing you want to do, because it's going all well, is to tell her about you, your income, your life, all of that. Truth be told, any other person would say the only time a guy wants to say all of that is when he's not super rich, or it's not really going wonderfully well for him. So he wants to give the girl heads up to say, okay, this is how things are for me, so that you can actually understand what exactly I do and how I do it and all of that. I would also disagree first, before I go on with what I want to say, that it is not only the guys who don't really make much that find it interesting to sit a girl down and telling her how he makes it or how he goes about it. Sometimes when he's quite rich, he wants to settle the question mark, especially for a lady that he really loves, or a lady that he really finds interesting, or someone that he calls a friend deep down, okay? Because there are categories to this thing. And so he wants to tell her what he does and all of that, so that she can be comfortable and not look at what other people are saying from the other end. That's for someone who have not figured it out on their own. But then, taking me back to where I want to talk about, actually, I don't think there's any need, okay, to tell a girl your life, especially if you have not crossed a certain line with her. You can actually, this line is being ruled by you. You have the ruler, you have the rules, and you have the policies within the tip of your finger. And so you know exactly when the line is at the break for you to break the news and say it the way it is. But then, I still don't see the need to. Some ladies don't really care, okay? Truth be told, because they give you listening ears, it's not the reason why you should continue. Okay? I don't know what you do for a living. Yeah, I think you should stop there. I think every guy should stop at that point. telling them this is what I do for a living just to make you comfortable, probably because of everything that's happening around the world right now, and especially within the corridors of the black race. You can always try to make that rule where you say, okay, this is what I do, just for you to know, should in case. But then beyond that point, I don't see a need. Okay? You see why I'm stressing it right now? I don't see a need to continue talking. Because she's going to listen to you. She's going to pay attention. That is what ladies do. They pay attention when they want to. And especially when it feels like she likes you, she's going to pay attention. But then it doesn't change the fact that when she wants to deal with you later, she's going to consider the things you said before. It's not like when she wants to make changes to what is really going to happen or what has happened, she's going to consider that you guys had a conversation and you told her a whole lot about you. She's going to forget that. And so you would then ask yourself, so why did I do it? What's the need? What she's going to say won't be anything different. It's still going to be the same thing. It might be over a little quarrel. It might be over a fight. It might be something other than anything else. That's not enough to change the fact that you have actually opened yourself up to a tiger. To me, it might sound quite interesting for certain people, but I don't see a need for all of that. If you have said what you do for a living, I think you should leave it right there. If things are not really going the way it should go, especially for you as a guy, at that point in time, I think you should measure up to how you can manage the situation without sharing details. Because it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. The things that entice a lady is quite funny, and the most annoying thing is that when it begins, no one agrees until it gets to a point where you can no longer return. So it's quite annoying. It's quite challenging when it gets to that point. But like I said, because you're not going to keep telling the whole world how things are, and because you're not very certain, and because we cannot be too certain, to a large extent, I feel like we should learn to hold back. We should learn to hold back. Because talking isn't walking. So maybe we should hold back and let it be that the puzzle is there and someone is trying to solve it. That way, it feels quite different and it looks like you're quite something that needs to be dissected. And that is quite a big challenge to whoever is with you. But when you say everything out, when you spit it out, spit it all out, there's nothing else to be anticipated, especially when she wants to get to the other side of things. So that's my take. It's my take, and generally, I had to put it out to you so that you can actually relate to it. It's an atmosphere of experience, and I wouldn't do it alone if I don't get to hear your experience as regards to how much you've shared and how much it's gone wrong. But then, I'm not discouraging anybody from sharing. I'm just saying, limit the information to someone more advanced in time. That's all. That's all actually. My name is C.S. Williams, the Radio Apprentice, and you're listening to Oral Vault Live Podcast. At this moment, I want to take a break. And when I get back, we're going to jump into something else. But this is quite open because we're going to be mixing them up while we're addressing our minds. Okay? So I'm here. I'm quite here. And just like I said, I would like us to make our weekend wonderful, and I can do it alone. Stay tuned.